Well, she is used to sending criminals to jail, but today, an Oklahoma County judge and her husband were the ones being booked.
Judge Tammy Bass-Lesher and her husband Carlos are facing 36 felony counts of fraud and perjury. They're accused of taking money from the state to care for two foster children who did not live with them. New at 6, News 9's Adriana Ivashinsky found out they will continue to get paid by the state despite their arrest. Adriana?
Well, Amanda, those payments will continue even though those kids are in state custody. That's because the Leshers are still legally and financially responsible for them. And by law, DHS cannot suspend those payments even though the judge and her husband are being investigated for fraud and perjury. Both Judge Tammy Bass-Lesher and her husband Carlos Lesher were stoic as they turned themselves into the Oklahoma County Jail Monday morning. The two said nothing as they were booked in, but the judge's attorney did have this to say about his client.
Strong, courageous, compassionate woman. Strong, courageous, compassionate judge. This matter is going to be decided in the courtroom. She maintains 100% innocent of these charges.
The judge and her husband are accused of making and accepting fraudulent claims for foster care reimbursements to take care of twins. Capri Whitehead is the birth mother of those twins. She says she wanted to keep her son and daughter, but felt constantly pressured to give them up.
She took me through the wire, the ringer. She took me through all this mess. All types of stuff from my past resurfaced that I didn't even know nothing about, things that, and I know that was her doing. I know that was, just making me look bad in court.
And we know the woman who was reportedly taking care of those children, Ravonda Edwards, is facing charges of her own. Edwards is the sister of Judge Bass-Lesher's bailiff, and she's accused of assault with a dangerous weapon, assault and battery, kidnapping, and now arson. It was that arson case that court papers revealed triggered the investigation into the alleged foster care fraud. Though DHS confirms it is normal for foster parents to have alternative caregivers for their foster children, any caregiver taking care of the kids in their home for a long period of time need to be approved.
But they have to be in constant contact with the worker. That has to be documented, and there has to be a reason for that and an outlined time frame of how long the children will be staying with the alternative caregiver.
But even with all the checks and balances in place, DHS admits it is possible for fraud to occur, especially if it's an inside job.
It would be like a bank employee committing embezzlement. It's possible that some safeguards could have been gone around.
And DHS is cooperating with the investigation. The Leshers' next court date is set for March. Amanda?
All right, Adriana. Also, DHS confirms Ravonda Edwards was a caseworker from June of 2005 to January of 2010. DHS tells us policy would have prohibited her from being an alternative caregiver for the Leshers only if she was assigned the case, or was the caseworker assigned to that case.